Cold-blooded killer Karmelo Anthony got 35 years in prison for the murder of Austin Metcalf. He'll be in prison hopefully till 2066. He'll be in his late 50s when he is released. However, after witnessing the murder, which we now have the footage along with the body cam video from the police, I believe it should have been a life sentence without parole. Little ghetto gangster Karmelo Anthony and his DEI defense team and his hood rat parents, who took all of his give, send, go money and spent it on new homes, new whips, new shoes, and a Carnival cruise. Well, they said that this footage would be what got Karmelo Anthony out of prison. They said that this security footage on your screen right now, which is the moment of the murder, where you can see the tent for the school that Karmelo Anthony doesn't go to. You can see Karmelo Anthony leering around the tent, lurking around the tent. This is supposed to show that Karmelo Anthony was acting in self-defense. This is supposed to show that Karmelo Anthony was ganged up on and was fighting for his life. Instead, what it shows, and you can see right there, is Karmelo Anthony. Let me just rewind for 1 second. Karmelo Anthony getting a light push, which is precisely what happened, from Austin Metcalf saying, "Get out of our tent." He was asked to get out of the tent 15 different times. And then Karmelo Anthony stabs him in the chest and then runs away like a coward. There he goes. Falls down on his face and then runs away like a coward. Extreme violence, zero impulse control, cowardice, throwing the murder weapon as he runs like a little girl and is then subsequently stopped by the police. He's stopped by the police, and then he admits that he actually did this. How they ever thought that this would go well at trial, what they did to this guy, I mean, really, the people who belong in prison is Karmelo Anthony's parents. Karmelo Anthony belongs in prison, of course. But his parents let this go to a jury trial. I mean, I guess assuming that he'd have like the George Floyd magic or something, there'd be like the saint of George Floyd would come through and rescue him. When all of this evidence clearly shows that they should have pled out. You say, "I'm guilty. I did it. I'm sorry." You apologize. You bow your head. You say your mea culpas. You weep, you cry, and you hopefully get like 12 years in prison. That's what a smart person would do. I'm actually kind of thankful they're so retarded here. And here you can hear Karmelo Anthony getting arrested and admitting that he is the one who stabbed Austin Metcalf. So here,
North end under a memorial tent.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me.
Right there.
Dispatch 443. I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
so they're bringing Karmelo Anthony over.
Help me, y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me.
This is where Karmelo Anthony admits. Wow, it says "fear of God" on his sweatshirt. Clearly, you had no fear of God.
Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now detained.
Here we go.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspect detained in handcuffs.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there.
The irony of having fear of God on your sweatshirt.
Okay. We'll figure that out. So nothing on your person at all? Nothing? Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing gonna stab me? Okay.
I'm going to be out with this.
A little personal there, okay? Just to make sure. Okay.
It says right here at the 1 minute, 30-second mark, not alleged, I did it. Listen.
Okay.
He says, I'm not alleged, I did it. It's a little hard to hear, but not only did he do it, he took the murder weapon, this is it, and threw it. This is the murder weapon on the bleachers. This, of course, would absolutely, these are extremely sharp knives. These would stab deep into the bone, and it did. It stabbed deep. He took it out of his backpack, and it stabbed straight through into the heart of Austin Metcalf. Again, you can see here Karmelo Anthony. Why couldn't any of this footage have been seen before the trial? Why couldn't any of this been seen? Why couldn't we see this? This makes no sense to me. Collin County judge overseeing Karmelo Anthony's murder trial has released the photo evidence. This is one of the stab wounds. You can look that up for yourself. I'm not going to do that. This is the video that shows Karmelo Anthony running away after he stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart. Frisco police body camera says, I'm not alleged, I did it. Life in prison. Would have been letting this scumbag off easily. You know, I find it fascinating. Here he is being arrested. Here is Austin Metcalf's brother, distraught. Further footage of his arrest. I'm not alleged I did it. You know, what's funny is that, like, this kid had the right instinct. The right instinct was, you know, hey, listen, I listened to too much rap music. I did drugs. I don't know. Like, I'm having a terrible day. I have horrible impulse control. I just took a young man's life, and I'm very sorrowful for that. And I'm going to plead out, and I'm going to suffer my consequences like a man. And those are the kind of actions, especially if you are 17 years old, that get you shorter prison sentences. Maybe you can plead down to manslaughter, right? Where you actually didn't intend to kill anyone. But his family knew that that meant that you wouldn't get all the money. You could fundraise off it. You could go out and spin a lie that Karmelo Anthony was being racially attacked here. There's no good real reason that Karmelo Anthony evidence could not have been seen by the public in real time during the trial. Transparency of the judicial system is more important now than ever. That's right. Isn't it incredibly unfair to everyone that we got to see in 4K everything happening to George Floyd? And even though that was a approved police hold that they had George Floyd in, and you didn't see any of the proceeding, you know, it's the opposite. This is an inverse George Floyd, where you didn't get to see any of George Floyd overdosing, fighting the police, committing crimes. You didn't get to see the hundreds of other felonies that George Floyd committed. You didn't get to see anything that preceded to George Floyd with the police officers. All you got to see was the hold, right, with the knee. And so it's the opposite of that. So they released the one piece of evidence that makes the cop looks guilty, and then none of the preceding evidence that told the full story. It's extremely frustrating the way that the media ecosystem works. I post this to show you exactly what it was like before it happened. This is a courthouse reporter who was there every step of the way. There was no 4-minute fight. There was not even a 1-minute fight. There was no fight. There was no attack. There were no 4 boys. My life, my children's lives, and the Metcalf family were literally threatened and harassed, doxxed, swatted because of this. My children were threatened, and now you can all see it for yourself, how delusional these people are. They wanted to try and lie. They're so sick. They wanted to try and lie. They thought that maybe they could make it a race thing, and they could get enough Jesse Jacksons and Al Sharptons on their side and BLMs, and they could scare enough people, and they pissed and bitched and moaned about no black people on the jury. They were desperate to try and make this some type of race thing, when really all it was is a young man with a rotted brain or a horrible impulse control, incapable of controlling himself, and he killed someone. And unfortunately, that does happen with young men. And it's happened throughout all time. And it should have just been chalked up to that. And nobody should have made a bigger deal about it. And he should have suffered his consequences, pled out, gone to prison for the amount of time that the judge felt correct. And that's how the system should work. They tried to make it into a bigger thing. They tried to make this into a race thing. And that is insult to injury to everyone here. Insult to the actual murder that continues to steal from the Metcalf family and disgrace them. And it's really, really hard to forgive that. It's your boy Benny. That's the full story. Glad it's finally out there.